have a week to edit this video if I want to get this out before the World Cup.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Let's get this started. After several underwhelming performances and a group stage finish at the Copa America, Jimmy Lozano was sacked by the Mexican Federation just a year and a half away from the World Cup. Now, the Mexican national team without direction or a leader needed someone who would restore confidence and hope back into this already demoralized team. And the FMF chose El Vasco Aguirre. Now, Vasco's appointment was a bit weird since it was revealed that the entire plan was for Vasco to lead throughout the entire World Cup, and after, no matter the results, he would hand the wheel over to Rafa Marquez, his assistant manager. Now, the reason for this was so that Rafa could get some more experience as his assistant manager, but I think this is just weird. Anyways, Vasco starts off his journey with a pretty dominant win over New Zealand at the Rose Bowl Stadium. The team looked pretty well. We had some good passes and we made some good goals. Although things started to slow down in our next game against Canada. It was a pretty even match with nothing too crazy going on, except for Malagon's save. It was a game where nothing got done. Our next game was against our bitter rivals, the pesky United States of America. And in this game, Mexico played very well, with our main man being Raul Jimenez. And I mean, just look at him. He was so good, especially that first goal. Oh my gosh, what a free kick. Not to mention his determination, which led to our second goal. I mean, look, he makes a mistake, he goes back, he corrects it. Goal. Mexico as a whole looked very well in this game, and even though the US had a few stars missing, it was still a very praiseworthy game for Mexico. So good job, Mexico. Now, moving on to Mexico started off their Nations League campaign against a familiar opponent, Honduras, which means they would have to face their kryptonite, beating Honduras away. Anyways, Mexico wasn't terrible in the first half, but they weren't good either. The team just wasn't connecting, and the wingers weren't providing much. And when Luis Palma got subbed on, it all really just fell apart. A terrible mistake from Montes leads to the first goal, then Jorge Sanchez gets cooked, and a shot from outside the box leads to the second. The game ends 2-0. A disaster for the Mexican side. A little bit of drama after the game, and the return fixture was heated. And there's no better place for Mexico to get their revenge than El Estadio Nemesio Diaz. The game starts and Mexico comes in guns blazing in the first minute. Edson Alvarez gets the ball from outside the box and shoots it. The Honduran keeper barely gets a finger to it, which is just enough for it to hit the crossbar. But Mexico are not letting up, and it was just relentless attack after relentless attack. Mexico was at home with the fans on their side, and it was showing. The Honduran defensive wall was cracking under the Mexican attack, and it was only a matter of time before Mexico broke through. The half ended, but Mexico still needed another to tie the game. In the second half, things slowed down, but Mexico still had most of the possession, but they just couldn't find the back of the net. The minutes were slipping, and just as the team got too comfortable, Honduras launched a deadly counterattack. It was 3 against 1. The defense was caught off guard. Edwin Rodriguez had 2 of his teammates on his side, but he decided to shoot. This decision could change the atmosphere completely and turn the tides of the game. But Luis Angel Malagon was in the porteria and denied Edwin. Thank you, Angel del Arco. Thank you. After that heart attack, Mexico went right back to attacking, and just a few minutes later, the game was tied. The stadium exploded. This was the momentum Mexico needed. They wanted that third goal, and they were gonna get it. Alexis Vega sends in a cross. Jorge Sanchez, who had just missed the sitter, controls it with his chest and strikes it. Goal. Honduras is left stunned. Oh, what's that, Henry? You want another? Sure, go ahead. We have time. The game ends. Honduras 0, Mexico 4. And scene. Moving on, Mexico continued their Nations League journey against Canada, and Mexico wasted no time. In the first minute, they score. The Canadian defense was caught off guard, and Raul does not forgive. Canada tried to respond after Mexico's goal, but the Mexican defense was too strong and kept them at bay. In the second half, it was more of the same, until Mexico gets a free kick, and Raul went full animal. Canada tried desperately to get at least one back, but their efforts were in vain. Game set. Mexico 2, Canada 0. Now Mexico would have to face Panama, who defeated the pesky United States of America for a trophy that had eluded them for 3 years since its introduction. Panama start off strong, but Mexico shows off their best quality, their brick wall of a defense. But Panama doesn't give up and get a shot on target, but it's blocked by Luis Angel Malagon. Immediately after, Piojo gets the ball, centers it, and the Panamanian keeper, I don't know what he's thinking. I think he thought he had wings, tries to grab it, misses, sets up easily for Raul, and Raul finishes it. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. First blood, Mexico. Mexico and Panama go back and forth for a while, with Malagon making some crucial saves, and the first half ends. Wait, what's that? Zoom in. Panama get a penalty at the dying minutes of the first half, and Panama doesn't think twice. First half ends. Mexico 1, Panama 1. Second half starts, and nothing much really happens, up until the 88th minute, where Mexico get a free kick. Luis Chavez takes the free kick and centers it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what's going on in this image. I don't know what he was thinking. We had to have paid him, because there's no other explanation. We had to have paid him. Anyways, thank you, Jose Cordova. Very cool. And that's it. Mexico win. And I get to finish this video before the World Cup starts, and we all live happily ever after. Alright, let's get out of here. Wrap it up, boys. What? The Gold Cup? Why the Alright, I'm gonna speedrun this. Mexico are drawn into a group with Costa Rica, Suriname, and Dominican Republic, Mexico being the heavy favorites. Then they almost lose to Dominican Republic. Oh my gosh. But it's okay, because Mexico then beat Suriname with both goals being generated from corners. Huh, seems a little suspicious. Anyways, then in their last game against Costa Rica, Keylor Navas puts up an absolute masterclass of a game. Like, oh my gosh, look at these saves. He keeps a clean sheet, even though that Santi goal should have stood. I don't care what anyone else says. That was an amazing finish, and it should have stood. Mexico finished top of the group and faced Saudi Arabia, my favorite North American country. Mexico beat Saudi 2-0 with nothing too crazy happening. The only takeaway from this game was that Gilberto Mora made his debut in the Gold Cup. After their win over Saudi Arabia, Mexico went up against Honduras in the Levi Stadium. Hey look, I was there. Mexico beat Honduras 1-0 with a goal from Raul Jimenez and assist from Gilberto Mora. Then finally, Mexico get to the final against their bitter rivals, the pesky United States of America. The US came into their Gold Cup with several stars missing, such as Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic. But that didn't matter. We will show no mercy to them, and we're gonna win and the United States scored in the first 5 minutes. Mexico immediately tried to respond, and it didn't take long for Raul Jimenez to find the back of the net. Raul celebrates, rest in peace Diego Jota, and Mexico are back in this. The game is intense, but at halftime, it's 1-1. When the second half starts, the match remains at a standstill until the 76th minute, when Mexico get a free kick, and Edson slots it in. Let's go! Oh, offsides. Wait, never mind, let's go! A few heart attacks later, and Mexico are champions. Again. And yeah, that's how Mexico won both the Gold Cup and Nations League in the same year. Truly the kings of CONCACAF. This was supposed to be the part of the video where I hyped up the World Cup, but then I got distracted by the actual World Cup. But hey, Mexico are doing really well. We're in the round of 16 and we're going to face England on Sunday. And I just want to say my reaction to Mexico's World Cup run so far can be really accumulated to one word. Ah, cabrón. So, ECC.